Hello, Mimi's Munchkins. Do you like it when I speak in rhyme? Subscribe to the channel and like the video every time. Were you good for Mommy and Daddy? Did you brush your teeth on time? Great job. This is Luke. He's a friend of mine. Oh, Mimi's Munchkins, tell me some news. I'm a little forgetful, so I wrote down some questions for you. Mimi has some sponsors. I think it's pretty swift. They have to do with bowling, Just Pro Shop, and Roll Fit. And if you like craft burgers, fries, and tots, this place is a winner. Head on over to Holy Cow for lunch and dinner. And to all my subscribers, it means so much to me. A huge thank you from Mimi. Oh, Munchkins, what did you do today? Did you sing a sweet, sweet song? Did you go to the park today and run and scurry along? Did you get your hair cut today? Did you grow another inch? Did your brother get mad to you and give you a little pinch? Oh, Munchkins, you make me so proud. I think it's ready to read a book aloud. So sit back, relax, or snuggle in. Let Mimi Shell's bedtime stories begin. Today is the story of Peppa Pig. This is written by Neville, Astley, and Mark Baker. The story of Peppa Pig. My Family Tree by Peppa Pig. Once upon a time, there was a lovable, slightly bossy little piggy named Peppa. Grunt, grunt. Squelch, squelch. More than anything in the whole wide world, Peppa loved jumping up and down in muddy puddles. Mummy Pig was Peppa's mommy. She was very wise about most things. Mummy Pig would say, "Peppa, when you jump in muddy puddles, you must wear your boots." Squelch, squelch. Daddy Pig was Peppa's daddy. He loved eating cookies and had a slightly big round tummy. When Daddy Pig jumped in muddy puddles, he made a very big mud splash. Ho, 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 splash. When Peppa's little brother George was born, Peppa helped look after him. As soon as George was old enough, Peppa taught him how to jump in muddy puddles. "George," Peppa said, "just like Mommy Pig, if you jump in muddy puddles, you must wear your boots." Squelch, squelch. George liked muddy puddles, but he liked his toy, Mr. Dinosaur, even more. Even though George couldn't speak yet, he could say one word very well. Dinosaur! Grrr! Sometimes Peppa got a little bit annoyed when George, she would say, "Why do you always say dinosaur for everything? It's so boring." One day, Peppa, George, Mummy, and Daddy Pig got into their little car and drove to their new house on top of a great little green hill. Peppa was excited about the new house, but she was very excited about the very wet and extremely muddy puddles in the yard. Beep, beep. "Can we go and jump in the muddy puddles?" asked Peppa. "It's nearly time for bed, Peppa," replied Mummy. "You'll have to wait until tomorrow." Peppa and George woke up early the next morning and went to find Mummy and Daddy Pig. "Can we please go outside and jump in the muddy puddles?" asked Peppa excitedly. Snort, snort. "Yawn. We're going to Granny and Grandpa Pig's house today, Peppa," replied Mummy Pig sleepily. "You can jump in muddy puddles there." After breakfast, it was time to leave, so Peppa and her family jumped into their little car. "Ready?" asked Daddy Pig cheerily. "Yes, Daddy Pig," everyone answered back. "Then let's go," shouted Daddy Pig. Beep, beep, snort, snort. "Yippee!" cried Peppa. She couldn't wait to get to Granny and Grandpa Pig's house and jump in the muddy puddles. The family soon arrived at Granny and Grandpa's house. Peppa and George were very excited. They loved going to visit Granny and Grandpa Pig. "Granny Pig, Grandpa Pig, Gangy Algae, Baba Algae." "Hello, my little ones," answered Granny Pig. "Come inside." "Granny," said Peppa, "can I jump in muddy puddles, please?" "I think Grandpa Pig has something to show you first, Peppa," said Granny Pig. Peppa was a little disappointed. She really wanted to jump in muddy puddles. Grandpa Pig took Peppa and George to his vegetable garden. "This is where I grow my vegetables," said Grandpa Pig. "First, I plant some seeds." "Can we eat yummy vegetables, Grandpa?" asked Peppa, forgetting all about the muddy puddles. "We have to wait for them to grow a little bit bigger," replied Grandpa. "Oh," gasped Peppa excitedly. Snort, snort, veggies. Suddenly, there was a loud bang. Oh dear, gasped Grandpa Pig. That was thunder. That means it's going to rain. We should hurry inside before we get wet. Peppa, George, and Grandpa Pig ran inside as fast as they could to get out of the rain. Peppa and George watched the rain splish, splash, splosh down the window. George started to cry. Don't cry, George, said Peppa. It's only rain. But George wasn't crying because it was raining. George was crying because he had lost Mr. Dinosaur. Peppa searched upstairs, downstairs, even in the toilet. She couldn't find Mr. Dinosaur anywhere. Just then, she had an idea. Peppa ran outside and found a very wet Mr. Dinosaur in Grandpa's very muddy vegetable garden. She ran inside and gave Mr. Dinosaur to George. George was very happy. Dinosaur! Grrr! The rain has stopped, cried Peppa. What can we do now? I have a very good idea, Peppa, said Daddy Pig, pointing outside. Hooray! Cheered Peppa, seeing the muddiest puddles ever. Peppa had been so busy looking at Grandpa's vegetables and searching for Mr. Dinosaur, she had forgotten all about jumping in puddles. Grunt, grunt, squelch, grunt, grunt, squelch. Peppa loved jumping up and down in muddy puddles more than anything in the whole wide world. All of Peppa's family loved jumping up and down in the muddiest puddles more than anything in the whole wide world. Grunt, grunt, squelch. Hee hee ha ha, wink wink, hee 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 ha ha, grunt snort. The end. That was cute, wasn't it, Munchkins? Remember, Munchkins, you are special and unique, and there's nobody else in the world like you. Now let's get ready for those goodnight kisses. Mwah! Now give them to Mom and Dad. Now scurry off, it's time for bed. Until next time, remember, Mimi Shaw loves you. Good night.